Welcome back, folks, to X Venture, or I guess we would say welcome me back as I have recovered, got the stream back up. Going to see if I'm actually able to join the lobby. Otherwise, my next step will to be shutting everything down and trying from there. Trying to get week number 1 here of Season 38 kicked off on the right foot. Thank you so much, Carry Out. Thank you, Chaos Fox. I know, these aren't the problems that you're buying into here with your subscription. So I appreciate it in the midst of trying to get everything up and running here. It's one of those things where the stream, as far as the OBS and everything that's happening here behind the scenes, is good. The only thing that I really can't control is Xbox Live, and for whatever reason, it does seem that I am having some problems now. It looks like it may be resolved. So give me 1 second here, and then I think we'll be able to move forward. Born as Ghost with a Tier 1 subscription. Thank you very much, Born as Ghost. Come on here, Xbox system on PC. You can do it. Well, I have the notifications that I've been invited. It's just I need to figure out why I can't get in. Oh, I think we might be good. I think we might be okay. We're probably missing the qualifying session. Probably missing qualifying. But, oh, here we go. Yes, they have started qualifying. Big J Bishop with the Tier 1 for 3 months in a row now. 4 in total. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And once we get into the groove here, I'll be okay. I'm a little flustered right now, so my apologies as I kind of try to get things going here. It looks like there's a few folks on the track and then others who maybe are not on the track. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. You love the alarm noise, Civic Element. Delta Live, clearing the cache on the Xbox should do it. I'm on the PC, so I suppose I could clear my internet cache, but that wouldn't do much. That wouldn't help out much. Okay, so I am in the lobby now. I've gotten that far. And I see that there are folks racing around right now. The only thing is I can't spectate for whatever reason. This is a first. This is a first on week 1 of a season in the Forza Spec Racing Series where I am just having all kinds of trouble. I don't even see slow motion fire in here. He just left to get a new one. Okay. So quit this lobby is what I'm hearing. Join slow. You guys are getting a nice look at the schedule. A nice, pretty detailed look at the schedule. As a matter of fact, while we're sitting here, let's go ahead and switch it on over to the vehicle itself. The 2003 Ferrari 360 Challenge Stradale. That's the car of choice here for season number 38, selected by McQueen. All right, now I need an invite to that new one because I still can't join off of. I don't know why I can't join. And slow. Don't let me slow things down. If this ain't working, then I will try the next step and the last step that I could really possibly exercise, which is just shutting everything down. Fear the fun. Let me try this. Wow. Well, what a way to kick off the season. What a way to get things a rocking and a rolling here. All right, I am in the lobby, I think. It's so weird because I don't even know what the game is doing right now. it's being really weird. Something really weird is happening. Well, I'm in the lobby. Let's pretend like for at least right now, everything is okay and cool. Welcome to X-Venture Live on Twitch TV. I'm Dustin Moore here on the microphone, trying to get Season 38 of the Forza Spec Racing Series underway. The 360 Challenge Stradale that you see on your screen right now, all they did was add a few upgrades to bring it up to A700 class here in Forza Motorsport 7. A few little things under the hood. A little bit of adjustment or parts for the suspension. Same goes for the transmission, differential, the driveline components, and some tire and wheel upgrades, along with the addition of the race front and rear bumpers. Good stuff. Good stuff. Season 37, where I last left you off about 5 weeks ago. Well, of course, I've been here since then. We've been doing Tuesday broadcasts, but the last time that we were live with the Forza Spec Racing Series on a Tuesday was back in mid-December when RZM McQueen wrapped up Season 37 with the championship. Picked up the championship there in the BMW, the Beamer, the M3, just out in front of Cratrim, who had 379, and Stevie Superstacks. That's a name to look out for if Stevie is racing. I'm looking through the lobby right now to see if Stevie is on the grid. I don't see him right now, but that's a name to look out for because he was very, very competitive. He just wasn't in it the entire season, from what I recall. So Stevie Superstacks, Audrex, Fear the Fun, DOR Carryout, Born as Ghost, Joe Beardy, Kuda, Foontang. You see all the names there, at least all 20 of them, and then there were quite a few more who were also a part of Season 37, but because they don't make the top 20, you don't see them on the list. So if you want to race with the Forza Spec Racing Series, which I certainly encourage you to think about doing, well, head on over to reddit.com/r/FM4. That's where you will find all the details, how to get registered, how to set your vehicle up accordingly. Get out here on the track, participate. We do have a full lobby here tonight. Very good. Very, very good. Happy to see that. Hopefully that continues on throughout the season. Crimson saying that Stevie is on the reserves. So that just shows you how excited people are about Season 38, whether it be the car, whether it be because the group of guys and gals that are racing, or just genuinely folks are looking for a way to stay competitive here in Forza Motorsport 7 as we await the release of the next Forza Motorsport title. Well, all the reason for you to be a part of the fun here in the association. And no matter how slow, no matter how quick or how slow you are, take part. Be out here. Be a name out there on the grid. Show us what you got. And even if you're not the quickest out there on the track, guess what? Always room for improvement. Even if you are the quickest on the track, always room for improvement. And if you find yourself mid-pack or back of the pack quite often, that's okay. You're going to have yourself some other drivers back there with you. Not everybody can win the race. Only one driver can win the race. So you'll have, well, as is the case here today, you'll have 22 other drivers out on the track apart from the leader who you can compete with. Make it happen. Reddit.com/r/FM4. One quick thing I want to mention before we move on too quickly into qualifying, as yes, they are getting readied up and preparing to hit the sport car circuit out at Daytona. You see on the screen here, your name here, your name here, your name here, all around these corners. Well, for those of you who have subscribed, Big J Bishop, Chaos Fox, who else did we have? We had Carryout, we had Born as Ghost. If you're a subscriber to this channel, you can pick a corner name. Or actually, you could pick a corner and name it. And what corner am I speaking to specifically? Well, any of the 18 corners that exist out at Virginia International Raceway. Yeah. Let me go ahead and get you the command here in the chat so that once you become a sub, and by the way, the Virginia International Raceway is the last race on the calendar here for Season 38. It's the last one. So you got some time. Between now and February the 2nd, if you are a subscriber, click on that link that Nightbot has just dropped into the chat, and then you'll have yourself a form where you can name a corner. And on that final race of Season 38, wherever the drivers are, wherever our camera is at any given time during that event, I will be shouting out your corner. You want to go a little bit above and beyond? A Tier 2 subscription, you'll get to name a corner and the pit lane. We'll call the pit lane whatever you want to call it, within reason. We are a family-friendly broadcast here, so try to keep that in mind. You can name the pit lane. If you really want to go nuts, if you really, really want to go crazy, you can go up to Tier 3. The Tier 3 subscription will get you, you can name a corner of your choosing, and you get to rename the entire track. So, there you go. Another reason to, perhaps another reason, maybe it's not your thing, completely understand, but to subscribe, get engaged, have a little fun with us here on the broadcast. It's the very least I can do, is give you a means to personalize or customize something for you out there out there on the track for that final race of the season as I commentate that thing. All right, here we go. Out to the circuit for 3 laps of qualifying. The sport car circuit here out at Daytona. All right. I do see Stevie Superstack out on the track. So, sure enough, who I was talking about, and Crimson said, hey, he's on the reserves. Now he's out there on the track. There's Barf Monkey. We've called a Barf Monkey play or two in the past. We've seen Barf Monkey out on the track before, entering the international corner, the international hairpin, and now going off the track. He's had enough. He's already done. Let's go to that. Who is this? That white M3. Quite a few new names out here. I love it. And I'm realizing that my audio on my end is super, super loud. You guys should be okay. It's on my end where it's just blaring into my ears and it's making me... I'm struggling to talk as a result. It's just like this loudness. Here comes that white M3 out of the final right-hander of the sport car circuit, now into the final left-hander before you get back into turn number 1 here on the tri-oval. He's got DOR Carryout back behind him. DOR Carryout, who finished there in 6th position with 284 points back in season number 37. Primo says Joe Beardy's taking this one. By the way, sorry, everything is just working super slow now as well. It's not working super slow. I'm just having to catch up after the little flub that was our start of the stream. Let's go with a prediction here. Let's go with number of drivers with dirtied lap. Let's do 0 to 2. And then, I don't know. Well, it's got to be 3 or more. And you've got, let's give you 2 minutes to do that. There you go. There's your Twitch predictor here of the qualifying session. How many folks will finish qualifying with a dirtied lap? Let's put some statistics now that drivers are coming across the line for the start of their second lap. Let's throw some stats there in the bottom left. Odds Rex with a 158.711 clean as it stands right now. Use those pit points that you have. Use those pit points to cast your vote. And don't use your channel points on things like highlighting a message or modifying an emote. Well, I say don't. You can if you want to. But save up those points, because what we usually do here on Xventure is we allow you to use those points to enter into raffles to win things. So don't use them now if you don't need to. What's up there, Mesosphere? Primo 914, DWM Frog is here. Opposite Hale is here asking, how do you get into the Forza Spec series? Easy. Reddit.com/r/FM4. And I'm just now realizing that the audio for my for the track, was it always off, or did it just turn off right now? Here's Fox Jason D getting around the track. Now McQueen with a 155.868. Let's go over to Audrex, who had the quickest time. Now exiting the bus stop on lap 3 of 3. Now SGR Corbin with a 154, able to get a sub 155, a 154.111. Here comes Audrex across the line. Well, he was able to hit a top speed of 183. And that's it. But we'll see where Audrex lands on the results, the final qualifying results here. Maybe get himself into row number 2, 3. Harzy and McQueen now with a 153.279. Holy smokes. And I believe McQueen already done. Just waiting for the rest of the gang to wrap up their qualifying session. And we got a driver who's into pit lane. It's Cratrium. Oh, he's just sitting there on the apron. Well, actually, no, he is in pit lane. Well, that's not where you want to be for qualifying. I'm curious as to whether or not Slow Motion Fire accidentally had damage on, and if Cratrium is having to get a pit stop so that he can put out a clean lap with a repaired car. But the way that his car is moving forward, it would seem that it just happened to go in there at the end of qualifying. I'm not sure what we're waiting for. I'm going to go ahead and back out. I'm not entirely sure what we're waiting for there. And we'll take a look at the post-race results to see who qualified where. There's, again, another look at the 2003 Ferrari 360 Challenge Stradale, the car of choice by Harzy and McQueen after winning the championship. That's the thing with the Forza Spec Racing Series. If you win the championship, not only do you get the bragging rights at the end of the season, but you also then get to pick the vehicle for the next season. Just another nice way to incentivize drivers to go hard for the win. Try to come out as the champion. I mean, it's racing. You that's what you want to do. That's what you ought to be doing, is trying to go for the win. But oftentimes in these community-run leagues, there's not really any reward that they can give you per se. So things like this are just a little extra nod to you to say, okay, cool, you won. You pick the next car for everybody to drive next season. All right, so there you go. A700 Performance Index here in Forza Motorsport 7, 438 horsepower, 294 foot-pounds of torque, 2,864 pounds of curb weight to the vehicle's name. And we'll go ahead and revert back to the schedule here just as a reminder of where things are going over the next 5 Tuesdays from now until February the 9th. So we got Daytona Sport Car Circuit. We saw qualifying. We'll be now heading out there under the lights, 15 laps, followed by Hockenheim Ring Full. Again, haven't seen the Hockenheim Ring Full circuit on the schedule for the Forza Spec Racing Series in the time that I've been broadcasting it, dating back to season 24. So nice to see the full track being used out there with the Mercedes Arena and all. 15 laps with a little precipitation possible in that one. Not guaranteed, but possible. I think 80% is the highest chance at any point in the race. Week number 2 heads out to Indianapolis for an Indianapolis exclusive. It's the Indianapolis Grand Prix Classic for 20 laps, followed by the Brickyard Speedway for 32. So, yeah, we're going to go out to an oval here with the 360 Ferrari. Week number 3, one of my personal favorites, Laguna Seca, 19 laps, Long Beach for 70 laps. That's a special event there because there is no pit lane on the west route. They will have damage turned off for that one. There will be fuel depletion and tire degradation, just no collision damage. Then week number 4 heads over to Suzuka, and that's followed by the Nürburgring Nordschleife for 4 laps. How about that? You go to the Suzuka and run that full circuit, and then, let's throw you out to the Nordschleife for 4. That'll be fun. And then week number 5, they're, like I said, capping things off on February the 9th at Virginia International Raceway, the full circuit, 36 laps. And yes, if you're a subscriber now, even if you didn't subscribe today, if you were a subscriber up to this point, you can pick a corner to name of Virginia International Raceway. Make it happen. Head on over to, let's see, it's Sub Takeover is the prompt there in the chat. Head on to that link. It's a Google form with information about what all is entailed in the subscribers track takeover. That's what I'm calling it. And yeah, you could pick a corner to name so that come the 9th and final race of the season, you can hear me shouting out whatever turn it is that you've nicknamed. All righty. Let's see. What other fantastic, fun, interesting stuff can we take a look at here before we jump into the race? And I know typically we use this time to go and chat with a few of our drivers in the driver's spotlight. Because of the weirdness of the start of things, I just want to make sure everything's okay here, at least through this first race. Then we'll have a word with a driver or two at the intermission going into our second race of the evening out at Hockenheimring. So bear with me. And again, here's a look at the final standings coming out of season number 37 back there in December. It seems like forever ago. I mean, we've been doing everything but the Forza Spec Racing Series here on X-Venture over the last 4 or 5 weeks. Sadly, but at the same time, been having some fun. But yes, it was McQueen who came away as the champion. Craytrim, Stevie Superstacks in the top 3. Craytrim says, broke my car on the curb in the kink. I thought so. I wouldn't have thought that the AI could drive into the pit lane for you. And so I that's what I thought had happened, was that you had turned it into pit lane, hoping that you can get it fixed up and get that last lap in. But maybe that was not the case for you. Lobby is full. Again, I can't stress it enough that super happy with the fact that the lobby is full coming into the new year. It's great to see that drivers, Forza gamers, are just as excited about participating in this league as they ever have. And this is just going to lend more entertainment and excitement for us here as we spectate this thing from afar. By the way, we didn't take a look at the race results, the qualifying results there. So SGR Corvid with a 154 triple 11. Stevie Superstacks was unable to get a clean lap time with a 155 dirtied. CMD Slipstream came in with a 155.7. Barf Monkey at a 154.9. A 2 minutes almost flat there, or almost 21 minutes, almost 2 minutes and 1 second flat there for Jacob TBOED. DOR carryout with a 157, a 155 for Audrex. There's the white M3 with the dirtied 157, a 155 for Joe Beardy. Kuda with a 2 minutes and 1/10 of a second. AP1 Raccoon with a 156.754. Fear the Fun with a 156, a 152 there for McQueen. Floofy with a 154, who has returned to the Forza Spec Racing Series after quite a hiatus. I think it's been 25 seasons. Slow Motion Fire with a 157. Savage Reaper with a 201. Then you got, you see the rest there with Fox, Jason D, LS Barney. Good to see Barney back out on the track. We saw him a couple times in the intro, the revised intro here. Modern Weapon, Chaos Fox, Megachin, Craytrim, and Slim Jim unable to finish things out. Congratulations to those of you who said that 3 or more would get a dirty lap. You were correct. All right, looks like they're still readying up there in the lobby. I thought maybe I was missing out on some of the action. I am not, so we're still good. Would love to know who out there is watching us. If you're watching for the first time, please click that follow button. Be greatly appreciated. SGR Chaos Fox with the host. Thank you so much. And while we're sitting on this screen, let me go ahead and run through a few of the subs that didn't show earlier when we were on the intro screens. SGR Chaos Fox, Tier 1, 9 months in a row. 9 months in a row. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Carry Out, Tier 1 for 10 months. Closing in on that 1 year mark. Then we got Born as Ghost at the halfway mark of a year. Well, actually, that's a... well, hold on. Wait for it. Will it go after this one? There it is. Yeah, Born as Ghost. 6 months. Yes, half a year there for Born as Ghost. Thank you so much for that. And then Big J Bishop with a Tier 1 for 3 months in a row. 4 months in total. Thank you all so much. And yes, get on over there and get your corner named out at VIR between now and February 2nd. That's what you need to do. Head on over there to that link that Nightbot just dropped and say, hey, Dustin, I'm a subscriber and I want to name one of the corners for the final race. Let me do it. What do we got here in the chat? We got Mike-Tron Gaming. Remember Ridge Racer? Yeah. Who is it that's got the Ridge Racer like design on their car? I'm trying to remember who that is. Let's go ahead and put our camera here on SGR Corvid. Give you all some game audio. It is Chaos Fox. Okay. Awesome. Chaos Fox is quite nifty with the... Oh, they backed out. They were ready to go, then they had to back out as it looks like a driver has fallen out of the lobby. So they're going to try to recover. Try to recover that. Oh, Fear the Fun. Mike-Tron Gaming also with the follow. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are coming up big here on the debut, the inaugural run of the Forza Spec Racing Series of 2021. We'll have many of these week ones throughout the year. So if you're new to the channel, please click that follow button. We would love to see you come back. Know that I broadcast not only here on Tuesdays, but then again on Fridays and then on Sundays. So 3 days out of the week, but I try to give you the best bang for your buck, so to speak, if you're a non-sub or if you are a sub. If you are a sub, I'm certainly trying to give you the best bang for your buck. I've got some other cool stuff that's on tap here for the first couple of months of the year. So for those of you who have gone above and beyond to support the broadcast, I hope to give you some return here with more entertainment, more stuff that perhaps you didn't see coming, but why not? It's 2021. Cody Irving, Go Joe Beer Tay with the follow. Thank you, Joe. No, you're rooting on Joe. Thank you, Cody. Thank you. Well, we're waiting for... It looks like Fear the Fun may be back into the lobby. And now once slow motion... Because once somebody goes out of the lobby, then Slow Motion Fire has to work them back into where they're supposed to be on the grid. So tonight's just a weird night. The broadcast didn't start off the way that it was supposed to. I don't know. I guess it's just two things. The broadcast didn't start off the way that it was supposed to, and now Slow Motion Fire, as they were getting ready to race with 23 cars on the grid, having to deal with a DC. Joe Beardy's his boy, Primo. This is your race. Get well soon. Oh, I didn't know Joe was under the weather. Hopefully you do get well there, Joe, sooner rather than later. And everybody who's watching, stay happy, stay healthy. You'll hear me. That's my tag at the end of the broadcast. Truly, honestly, do everything you can to stay healthy in this current climate. And in conjunction with that, stay happy. Make it happen. All right, we're... someone else got parental controlled. It's a mess. Oh, somebody's fire alarm is going off too? in the lobby? Well, fortunately, I can't hear the. I'm not all connected with the in-game lobby chat. Otherwise, it would be chaos here over the airwaves, so to speak. Yeah, it's just a weird night. Apparently. While they're sorting through that, for anybody who may be joining us here, I would say late, but really you're right on time. There's a look at our schedule. We just ran through it a couple of minutes ago, but I'll leave that up for a bit here, and then we'll take a look at the vehicle setup for those of you who are curious about how things are run here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. All drivers have the exact same car in terms of upgrades. So that A700 Performance Index is replicated across all 23 drivers out on the track. Where you can differentiate yourself from your opponents is in the tune. And it doesn't matter if you're not the best tuner in the world or if you cannot even tune a bit. The guys and gals of the Forza Spec Racing Series will help you out, get you pointed in the right direction, and if you need to borrow a tune because you're just like, well, doggone it, I'm not going to even try. I'm not even going to attempt to do any tuning. Somebody usually is generous enough to hook you up with a tune and get you on your way out there on the track. All right, we're loaded up. It looks like we've got everybody. I see CUDA93 isn't showing as ready. Hopefully that's not an issue. Chaos Fox says, we're going! Eventually. CUDA isn't ready, but I don't know if Slow is going to wait up. We might just be pressing forward, with or without you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, they are lined up on the grid. Now, how things work here is RZ and McQueen will be the first to leave the grid, and the moment he decides to do so, everybody else can depart with them. Here we go. Kick the tires, light the fires. Season 38 of the Forza Spec Racing Series is underway in the 2003 Ferrari 360 Challenge Stradale. Into turn number one, into the infield here at Daytona they go. And our pole sitter, Corbin, well, actually not our pole sitter. He started out in second, and he still is in second, back there behind RZ and McQueen, who was the pole sitter. Let's go to SGR Floofy, who is a part of the Forza Spec Racing Series this season. And Slow Motion Fire was telling me the first time in a very, very long time. So great to see another member of the Scrubs Go Racing crew out there on the track. As a matter of fact, his teammate there, Corbin, right out in front of him. Joe Beardy back behind him there in fourth position. In fifth, it's going to be Audrex, followed by Slipstream, Barney, Fear the Fun, AP1 Raccoon, and Chaos Fox. That's your top 10. Here they come, getting ready to get back out onto the tri-oval. And RZ McQueen just punted a whole slew of cones off the track, giving himself optimal line there for the entry into that left-hander. And now out off the apron and on to the banked tri-oval they go. SGR Corvette still there in second with Fluvy back behind him in third position. As now they're going to hit the back straightaway. They do have the bus stop on this run. Let's go back to eighth with Fear the Fun. And there's some X-Venture cones there for RZ and McQueen, who went cone hunting there on the infield. Fear the Fun in eighth position. He's going to look to the inside here of LSE. Well, I was about to say LSEM Barney. That's the name that I'm most familiar with, but now they've truncated it down to Lightspeed Esports Team, LS Barney. They're in eighth position, maybe not for long now, as Fear the Fun now comes to the inside of him. Here they come up toward the finish line for the beginning of lap number 2 of 15 here tonight. And across the line, nose to nose is Slipstream and Barney. Now Barney's going to get a little tap. Well, it looked like he got a little tap there from Fear the Fun. Maybe he certainly does there on the driver's side door panel as they exit turn number 1. And now through the S's up to International they go. Our race leader, it's still RZM McQueen, who knows, maybe trying to go back-to-back here, season 37, season 38 as the champion. Corbett in second, Floofy in third, Joe Beardy, Audrex, Slipstream, Barney, and we're riding on board here with Fear the Fun. Chaos Fox there in 9th. Slow Motion Fire is up to 10th. We've got Modern Weapon in 11th. Barf Monkey, Jacob T, BOED, Cratrium, Stevie Superstack back in 15th. AP1 Raccoon, Fox Jason D, DOR Carryout, Savage Reaper, Slim Jim in 20th. That White M3 in 21st. Mega Chin in 22nd. And unfortunately, Kuda93 not getting ready up for this race. He would have been the 23rd out on the track. Let's jump back to 12th position with the wonderful name that is Barf Monkey as they come 3 wide out over the apron and onto the tri-oval, and now back into single file formation. Modern Weapon's going to lead this pack here, followed by Stevie Superstack, who's dropped back yet again now to 12th. Let's hang out with AP1 Raccoon, and let's do so from hood view, entering the bus stop. There goes Jacob TBOD on the outside, now onto the inside through the bus stop. He makes contact with Cratrium, gets a little bit sideways. Cratrium able to make a recovery. What about Jacob? Is he okay? Well, he's fallen back to 16th. It looks like he's got the car pointed in the right direction, and we'll try to maybe reclaim a spot or two here at the end of lap 2. And across the line goes Arizia McQueen in 3rd. Or excuse me, for lap 3, not in 3rd, but for lap 3. Go to our X-Venture rewind there. You can see the contact made between Cratrium and Jacob. Clean racing, that's all they ask for here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. However, from time to time, things are going to happen, and it's not on purpose. It's racing. Accidents happen. Let's go up to 7th with Fear the Fun. Who's got the Stark? What is that? The Stark Enterprises car, and there goes Fear the Fun off the track. He's going to have to try to recover. Hopefully he doesn't take anybody out in doing so. As a matter of fact, his recovery there may have put Slipstream off his line. Now Slipstream's going to do a little bit of a switchback. He's going to look to the outside here up the left-hander, and Fear the Fun seems to have recovered with that Stark Enterprises 360 Challenge Stradale. SGR Corvid holding on to 2nd right now, but he's got Floofy right behind him, challenging him, beaming those headlamps right into the rear view mirror, depending on which camera view you're looking at. DWM Frog saying, love that view there from the hood. Yeah, we'll get a couple more glimpses at it here. And, oh, we've got quite a mess in the bus stop. Who is that? That's on either side. We've got Fear the Fun and Carryout. Let's go to Carryout, who's right now showing in 16th position, but may have fallen back even further. Well, actually, no, has recovered. And I take it back. That's because of the timing of in-game. It was seeing Carryout passing, and when I was switching, selecting drivers, it happened to land on Carryout. It's actually Slipstream and Fear the Fun who got into it there in the bus stop. And is Slipstream's car okay? It appears so. And so he'll get back out on the track. Let's go up to Slow Motion Fire in 12th. Hopefully your week is off to a pretty decent start here. What is it, the 2nd full week of 2021? I'm Dustin Moore on the microphone, and I will be for the next 4 Tuesdays with you here for the Forza Spec Racing Series season number 38. We've got another race after this one, so stick around. Lots and lots of fun, and so far looking so good and very, very competitive. This car in and of itself, I think, is a driver's car, and so when we get the caliber of racers that we have here, it's going to lend itself to great racing with very little effort. Easy for me to say, right? Big J Bishop saying murdered. He's giving us some commentary there in the pit lane while his vehicle virtually runs through the pit lane. Here's Cratrium in 10th position with the Aperture liveried 360. It's fictional companies, I believe, this year. once again. They recycle some of the themes. That's okay. Let's go to Barf Monkey because you all love that name. Barf Monkey in 8th position. It looks like Corbett has been able to shake Floofy a little bit as they come out of turn number 1. Audrex in 5th, Barney in 6th. Let's go to that battle there. Audrex and Barney. A couple of red Stradales here. You got Audrex, who has jumped out of his... Uh-oh. Usually when we get that screen, it means we lost somebody. Or, I don't know, maybe it was Fear the Fun who just went ahead and bowed out early on this one. But Audrex not in the typical AMD Ryzen livery that we see him in. And he's done this a couple of times. One time was in a Wu-Tang Clan car, which we saw there during the intro. He switches it up when the theme kind of necessitates it. Let's go to the great battle of 4. That is, who do we have back there? Slow Motion Fire, Jacob T, Modern Weapon, and AP1 Raccoon. And we've got them spun around on the entry of turn number 1. That's going to be Raccoon. It looks like he went up into the wall and very well could have sustained some damage. Yes, 100% all about the car to include steering, drive line, 82, well, fuel, we're not worried about that. Transmission, not too shabby at 8%, but he's going to have to come in. Otherwise, that vehicle is going to be pretty much impossible to control for the remaining 10 laps of this race. So just as we switch it over to him and his battle with Slow Motion Fire and Modern Weapon making contact with the wall, Barf Monkey now drops back to 10th position. Here comes Craytrim across the line with Stevie Superstack on the inside as they now enter turn number 1. What's going to happen here? Craytrim, it looked like he was going to try to duck down into the low line there, and he couldn't make it happen, and instead here comes Barf Monkey, who makes the pass, and he's going to go ahead and line it up and try to make a double pass. That second on Stevie can't make it stick, however. Now he goes to the inside line here through International Horseshoe, the hairpin, and he's going to fall just short there. But now as they make their way down the infield straightaway into this kink, let's see if he can line it up for the right-hander. Very tricky corner, this. You're carrying a lot of speed through there, and you've got very, very little camber to work with on the track. So you almost feel like you're coming to a complete stop, and then you gun it and run it there on that next straightaway before you make your entry back out on the tri-oval, and Barf Monkey now finds himself about 3 car lengths behind Stevie Superstack. Opposite Hill grabs popcorn and says, I'm enjoying it. All right, so things are starting to thin out a little bit here, but we still got the great battle between the two Scrubs Go Racing drivers, and here they are side by side. SGR Corvette on the low line, Floofy on the high line, as they come out of turn 3 into 4, and now, well, at least on the oval, turns 3 and 4, and now make the charge toward the start-finish line for the beginning of lap number 7. Floofy just behind a little bit there by, I don't know, maybe a half of the front wheel. And now Corbin on the inside line. He's going to play a little defense here before Floofy gives him a nudge there on the rear left quarter panel right below that tail lamp. And now here they go. They're going to go side by side. It looks like Corbin may be a little early on the braking. Allows Floofy to get up alongside him, but Floofy wants that low line. Drops back down and right back onto the rear bumper he goes. There's a nice look at the Challenge Stradale's beautiful back end. And now they go side by side once again. This is where Floofy appears to have a bit of an advantage, and there he goes off the track. Let's see if he can make a safe recovery. He does, as the car almost launching itself into the air. It bounced up. And just before the wheels could get any air underneath them, the car slams back down and comes onto the asphalt, and Floofy's going to go ahead and unclinch himself there and try to make it happen here in the back half of this 15-lapper out of the Daytona Sport Car Circuit. It's week number 1, race number 1 of 9 here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. Back behind Floofy, who is in 3rd. It's Joe Beardy in 4th. What a run by Joe. LS Barney in 5th. And oh no, we've got the screen, the feared black screen of disconnect. Hopefully we didn't lose anybody. Well, we did. We lost that white M3, and it looks like Fox Jason D is out too. So I said Joe Beardy in 4th, Barney in 5th, Audrex in 6th, and those, they're like Swiss cheese out there. They've got big old gaps in between them. SGR Chaos Fox in 7th, Stevie Superstacks there in 8th, Barf Monkey in 9th. We'll go back to that battle, that three-way battle here in just a bit as we kind of see how this one takes care of itself. If it does, who knows? We may have to jump back. And there goes Floofy again on the outside. It seems like he's got a better approach going into that turn number 5 here on the sport car circuit. But Corvid just able to put his car in the right spot that you can be as quick as you want, but in some sections of the track, you're just not going to be able to get by. And now here comes Floofy. He's going to try to line it up once again. Same spot on the outside. He seems to like it there. Hopefully he'll keep on the track this time. 2 wheels up onto the runoff curbing. Makes the recovery. He looks to the outside as he lines it up for the left-hander. I tell you, he loves that line. He loves to stay out there. Sprazows, good to see you, Sprazows. Long time no chat. Lots of connection problems today. I couldn't even connect to the start of the race, much less finish it. Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know if those connection issues that you're facing are the same issues that I'm experiencing, or at least that I experienced at the beginning when I was trying to get into the lobby. I have no clue. It was a rough go here for the start of the broadcast. Fortunately, we're underway, but hate to see other folks having some connection issues. It seems like Fear the Fun's departure from the race was completely voluntary. And now there goes Floofy making a pass on Corvid, getting out in front too by quite a distance. Corvid even getting a couple of wheels there on the low line, the very low line below the double yellow. That'll slow you down a bit and scare you too, because that's not easy. That's not easy driving to go from the banked corner, the banked tri-oval, onto the apron and then back onto the tri-oval in such quick fashion. Oh, and there goes Corbin locking up the brakes. Did he make contact with Floofy? I couldn't tell if he did. Oh my, did he lock up those brakes. He was able to save it, appears. And now Floofy gonna do everything he can to put Corbin in his rear view mirror and keep him there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the pass by Floofy on Corbin coming out of the bus stop. And while that's running, let me go to Cratrim here in 8th. DJ Recall 98, welcome and thank you for the follow. Great to have you here. There's the pass. And now we're riding on board here with P8 of Cratrium, who's back behind Stevie Superstacks in that, I don't know if it's teal or if it's kind of a baby blue. I don't know if the nighttime lighting is playing tricks with me, but it does look like it's a light blue there for Stevie's car. Stevie in 7th position, back behind Audrex. And then it's still Joe Beardy in 4th, Barney in 5th. We've got a great grouping of cars here from Audrex all the way back to 12th position of Slow Motion Fire, so a total of 7 cars there. Then it's Modern Weapon in 13th, Slipstream in 14th, Savage Reaper in 15th. Good recovery there by Slipstream, by the way, who got into an incident earlier on in the bus stop. Mega Chin in 16th, Slim Jim in 17th, AP1 Raccoon in 18th position with, 3 disconnects and 1 driver who didn't even make the grid for the start of the race. And now out of the bus stop comes Stevie with perhaps a little stretching the track limits there a bit, perhaps. Craytrim up to 7th. As he enters turn number 1, there's Stevie peeking on the outside, but a little deceiving there, the camera view as it zoomed in. It made Stevie look like he was much closer than he was. He's about a car and a half, 2 car lengths back there from Craytrim as they come up to the right-hander in the infield. Let's ride with Chaos Fox in 9th position. And let's do so from the hood view. Riding on board there with Chaos Fox, you could see how deceiving the bus stop is in terms of difficulty. You're thinking, oh, it's just a left and a right, you know, and then another right and a left. The bus stop has foiled many a driver. Many a driver. Big J Bishop, how are you doing, Dustin? I'm doing pretty good now that we're racing. Things were off to a bit of a weird and wonky start, but now I'm feeling comfortable, in the groove. Knock on wood. Hopefully nothing goes haywire for the rest of the broadcast, and we can get week number 1 under our belts and then have a great remainder of the season. Craytrim there in 6th position as he goes through the kink, the left-hander. And Audrex right on back behind him, Stevie Superstack in 8th position as he starts to fall back a little further. And by the way, Craytrim, well done in moving up to 6th around Audrex, who was kind of driving by himself there for a bit. I didn't see if maybe something had happened that had Audrex fallen back, but Craytrim now going to try to, in these remaining 4 3/4 of a lap, try to catch up with 5th position, which is occupied currently by LS Barney, and then not too far in front of LS Barney is Joe Beardy. So who knows? Maybe we'll see Craytrim pick up another 2 spots here before the race is done. Arzian McQueen is out in front of out in front of everybody out on the track here, pretty handedly too. I mean, He's taking care of business out there, picking up right where he left off from season 37. Floofy, who made a move about 3 or 4 laps ago around his teammate SGR Corbett, still in 2nd. Corbett still in 3rd. And then it's Audrex in 7th, Stevie in 8th. Chaos Fox, who's proudly in the top 10. Barf Monkey, who's proudly on the good side of the top 10 and not outside looking in. It's Jacob Tio BOED who's doing that in 11th position. He's racing with Slow Motion Fire right now. Modern Weapon in 13th, Slipstream in 14th. Then it's Savage Reaper, Mega Chin, Slim Jim, AP1 Raccoon. The top, well, that's not the top 18. That's all 18 who are out there from the original 22 who started this race. Looks like Audrex just has a slew of random bumper stickers just plastered all about the Ferrari there. No real theme unless that is the theme. Big J Bishop says, I DC 3 times and then got punted, yeeted there in the bus stop and called it a race. I hear you. And here in the Forza Spec Racing Series, I know you're well aware of Fear the Fun, but for anybody else who's watching and is maybe new to seeing this series, you get 1 drop week out of the 5 weeks of racing, the 5 Tuesdays of racing. There's a total of 9 races. That 5th and final week is just 1 grand finale endurance event. It's going to be out at Virginia International Raceway this season. So looking forward to that one, but not before we get through the 3 weeks before it. Well, 4 weeks, counting this one. This is another one of those seasons here where there are no fictional circuits on the schedule. That's a bit of a rarity. Usually you'll get at least one. We have 0 here in Season 38. As we continue to watch Audrex and Stevie Superstacks, Audrex continues to fall rearward here. Let's take a look at Audrex's vehicle and see if there's some sort of issue. Yes, Audrex has a 76% damage to the transmission. That, folks, is the reason why he is falling back. And right there, Stevie's going to give him a little bit of a paint scrape on the driver's side door panel and make the pass. Audrex really couldn't do anything about that. With that amount of transmission damage, you're fighting a vehicle that doesn't want to work for you at this point. Let's go to Barf Monkey, who is pretty close here with Chaos Fox for 9th position. Sprazows, Happy New Year, Dustin. Good to see you again. We'll swing by for some of your non-Forza Motorsport Spec Racing Series streams when I get a chance. Been busy. Completely hear you. And Sprazows, I know you wanted to connect with me during the off-season. If you have anything you want to chat about, let me know. And that goes to anybody who may be watching. If you're curious about the season, the league, if you're curious about any of the other broadcasts that I do, perhaps you want to learn about how you can either get involved in the series or with the things that I do here on X Venture, business or otherwise, hit me up. You can send me a whisper here on Twitch. I know that sounds really weird, but that's what they call them. It's the equivalent of a direct message. You can contact me on Twitter, which, here you go. Nightbot will help you out with that one. It's the same handle as I have here on Twitch, Xventure, EXEVENTURE. Or you can drop me an email, xventuremedia@gmail.com. Let's see here, as some of our battles begin to wane in the few remaining moments that we have out here at the Daytona Sport Car Circuit. Really, our closest battle within the top 10 is going to be this one. Barf Monkey, who is going to get around Chaos Fox, at least momentarily. Let's see if he can hold on to it there with the SRT emblem on the back bumper and VTEC up there on the front right wheel arch. Just going crazy with it. Now through the kink for the penultimate time here. Audrex has got to be careful. He fell back to 8th after Stevie was able to get around him, but now he'll have Barf Monkey and Chaos Fox creeping up on him. Damage control for Audrex here in this race. I think that's the only thing he could really do, is just try to eke out as many points as he can, knowing that this might be his drop week. But you can't have that mentality. You can't have the mentality that, hey, this race, this first race of the season is already going pretty crappy. I'm just going to go ahead and toss this one in the garbage. You can't do that, because you don't know when things might go even more badly a little bit later on. You don't know, is this actually as bad as it gets, or might I have a disconnect or something super crazy in another race that I would have preferred that maybe I get all the points from this one. So you've got to treat every race like it's a keeper, hoping that if it is a bad race, that maybe you can make up for it a little bit later on in the season. McQueen crosses the line, gets the white flag, and now begins the march toward the checkers to pick up his first win of the season. Like I said, picking up right where he left off with season number 37 as the champion. It's almost as if he knows this car. It's almost as if the 360 Stradale is a natural-born racing machine, and there goes Barf Monkey a little bit wide there through International. That's going to allow Chaos Fox to come on to the inside, try to reclaim his spot, P9. He cannot. So he'll try it again here on what's left of the sport car circuit. Oh, he gets real close there to the rear bumper of Barf Monkey, having to hit the brakes quite hard, and now out onto the curbing goes Barf Monkey, followed by Chaos, and here they come onto the apron and out onto the tri-oval for the final time here. And as I'm saying this, across the line comes RZM McQueen, 50 points to his name, race number 1, season 38. Back behind him, it's going to be Floofy in second, Corvid in third. Floofy making a wonderful triumphant return here to the Forza Spec Racing Series. 25 seasons detached, I believe it is, and picks up second position. That'll be good for, I think it's 47 points. And behind is Joe Beardy. Let's go to Craytrim in sixth. He's got out in front of him in fifth. That's Barney. He almost did make the... Yeah, he almost did catch up, but not quite. Just ran out of time. And so Barney in fourth, Craytrim, well, actually, no, that's Barney in fifth, Craytrim in sixth. I think there's one driver in front of him that needs to catch back up. Stevie Superstacks crossing the line in seventh, Audrex in eighth, Barf Monkey, Chaos Fox, Jacob T. And is it going to be Slow Motion Fire in 12th, or will Slow grab 11th? He does not. And that'll leave the remaining drivers of Slipstream, Modern Weapon, AP1 Raccoon, Mega Chin, Slim Jim, Savage Reaper to finish where they currently stand. Okay, folks, I'm going to go ahead and make note of where everybody finished. We'll try to get a driver or two into our driver spotlight to have a chat about how things are going this early point of the season in the 360 Challenge Stradale. I'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. And yes, you will see 3 minutes of ads, but I promise you it contributes to the stream. It also prevents viewers who are joining us a little bit later on from having to see the pre-roll. You would appreciate it if you didn't have to see the pre-roll. Make it happen for others. And for those of you who are supporters of the broadcast and aren't going to see any ads, well, you get to listen to some tunes while I'm away. And then, like I said, we'll get back. We'll cover the finishing order here of race number 1, and we'll talk to some drivers and get ready for our second race of the evening out at the Hockenheim Ring. I'm Dustin Moore. You're watching X Venture here live on Twitch TV. And welcome back to X Venture Live here on Twitch TV. Forza Spec Racing Series Season 38 getting underway. Race number 1 is in the bag. It's all done. RZM McQueen picks up the win. And we turn now over to the driver's spotlight. Fear the fun. I know we wish we were talking with under better circumstances, but it is what it is. What happened there in race number 1 for you?
Well, I would just like to point out, both times I've had the first track choice of the season start, I've been disconnected and or yeeted.
You got to stop doing that then. You got to go ahead and reserve the first track choice or somebody else.
I didn't ask for the first track choice. It just happened to be the one.
All right, so go berate Slow Motion Fire then and have him take care of it.
Yeah, just yell at my boss. I'll do that.
All right, so things went a little rough there at the bus stop here for race number 1. You went ahead and voluntarily bowed out. I suspect we'll see you out here on the track for Hockenheim Ring?
Absolutely, yes.
Like I mentioned, I'm most certain this is the first time we've been out at the Hockenheim Ring full circuit that I've been broadcasting the Forza Spec Racing Series, of course, with the 360 Challenge Stradale, looking to open it up, give it room to run a little bit. Is there anything about this track and car combination that people, our viewers, should be looking out for, or is it pretty much a match made in heaven?
It's definitely not a match made in heaven because there's going to be rain from about the after the first third through the rest of the race.
Now, see, I think I saw that it's like 80%. So are you pretty confident that we will see the rain, or has there been a change in the forecast?
Oh, no, it's absolutely going to come. both times, it's just absolutely, without question, going to be destroyed by rain.
The skies will open up. All right, Fear the Fun. I want to get Joe Beardy in here, so tell me real quick, 360 Challenge Stradale, your thoughts on the car, RZM's pick out of Season 37.
It's a good car. We usually kind of go for like more unique cars. Lately, it's not been so unique, but you know, it's a good car. It's fun to drive. It's nice to race. Let's see how it goes from here on out.
Better luck for you here in race number 2.
Thank you, man.
All right, we'll go ahead and bring in Joe Beardy right quick. Joe Beardy, I know you got to get out on the track to do some qualifying around the Hockenheim Ring. You finished 4th out there at Daytona Sport Car Circuit. It seems like you're pretty comfortable with the car.
Yeah, I'd say I'm happy with it. Had a little bit of downtime throughout the week, so I was kind of able to figure it out. So, yeah, I was able to put a little bit of testing in on it. And, yeah, I'd say I'm really happy with this one, to be honest.
What do you got to do here in this second race of the evening out at Hockenheim Ring to maybe see yourself in a top 3 spot? And don't just tell me drive faster.
Oh, I'll try to keep it on the track again and not put it into a sand trap since it's going to be wet. Curves are a little dangerous here in some spots, so I know you'll kind of get sucked off track in a few places. So that's just something to be careful for. Or if you're racing side by side with somebody, just trying to avoid contact, honestly. That's going to be my goal.
Hockenheim Ring, you a fan of the track or no?
I'd say, yeah. Honestly, back in the Toka Race Driver 2 days, I grew up playing this one. So I'd say I know the track. I'm familiar with it. But, I mean, as far as everybody else racing with them, I mean, we're just going to have to see where we stand, you know. Like the track, but it's got to find out.
You go from the tri-oval of Daytona, which has obviously plenty of camber there on the outer ring, maybe not so much in the sport car infield circuit portion, but any major adjustments you got to make to the car going from that track to the Hockenheim Ring circuit?
There's a couple little adjustments just to account for the wet. Otherwise, I found the car to be pretty neutral as far as a lot of the tracks tend to go. Maybe adjusting a little bit of downforce here or there just for some high-speed stuff. But for Hockenheim, I'm honestly running no downforce just to try to keep as much weight off the car, try to keep the car as light as I can, and try to use as much of the mechanical grip as I can. So that's my goal with it.
Very good, and it looks like you got some. You got a rooting section here in our pit lane at X Venture. Primo saying, "Let's go, Joe! Put the pressure on him, baby."
Oh, I guess I got some fans out there. It's better to have some than none. So better to have any cheerleaders, right?
That's right, Joe Beardy. Congratulations, 4th place finish out there at Daytona. We'll see what you do here out at Hockenheim Ring.
All righty. Well, thank you. Hopefully I can improve. We'll see.
All righty, and it looks like they're still working on a few things here in the lobby, so let me go ahead and bring into the driver's spotlight Slim Jim 00. Slim, first time at least I'm familiar with your name in the Forza Spec Racing Series. Had you raced in the FM4 Series before, or is this definitely a new entry for you?
No, sir. Coming from a real-life racing background, this is the first time I've ever jumped into the foray of online racing, and man, let me tell you how much fun it is and how welcoming the FM4 guys have been tonight. Just letting me in the lobby with my orange plates and trying not to crash into people.
Very good. And 17th place finish, that's respectable for saying, hey, this is your first foray into online racing. Is there anybody on the out on the track or maybe in practice that you've run in previous before the season got started that you're saying, hey, that's the person I'm going to compete most with here?
I did the test and tune, I think it's about a week or so. I got to race a bunch with Perkins, who's another first-time racer here in FM4. I got to get a tow from Grimm and a couple other guys. And basically my deal is just trying to get seat time. I don't know these tracks. I don't know the car. So I'm just trying to tuck in behind faster racers and keep it clean and just learn as much as I can every time I'm out on the track.
Speaking of the car, what are your thoughts of the 360 Challenge Stradale?
Are super fun. I don't really know what I'm doing with tuning, so the guys here have been super helpful trying to help me figure out everything. I think most of my problems are not hitting the marks more so than it is a tuning issue. But tuning something I'm going to have to focus on in the future if I want to drop, 3 or 4 seconds to get kind of close to the middle of the pack.
Very good. Well, hey, Slim Jim, thank you so much for not only joining the series, but then having the fortitude to jump in here into the driver's spotlight. And we hope to get to chat with you a lot more here throughout the season.
No, thank you for having me, and thank you for the guys for hosting this event. It's a bunch of fun, and I'll see you later.
You betcha indeed. And let's go ahead now and bring in LS Barney. I feel like we're going to take care of the whole field here in terms of driver interviews. Barney, you're finishing there in 5th position behind Joe Beardy. You're able to claw your way up a spot or two, I think, from where you qualified out there at Daytona. You pretty satisfied with it?
Yeah, especially with the bad qualifying like that. Wasn't happy starting 9th place, but I'm glad I was able to get back up to 5th in the end.
Yeah, so more than a couple of spots jumping back up. During qualifying, was it just maybe getting familiar with the car again, or had you had the familiarity and were just not having any luck during the 3 laps?
I think it was just bad luck. I mean, I was on a fast lap at the end, but just dirtied it like on the 2nd sector.
Yeah. So many times I've been wanting to call you LSE and Barney because when I used to host races myself, I think you were pretty prevalent in those. And, yeah, you were under the tag of LSE and Barney. So is this your return to the Forza Spec Racing Series after, gosh, how many seasons has it been?
I mean, I've still been here. I just haven't been that fast to be noticed,
you
especially like last season.
You got to be kidding me. You have not.
I have.
All right. Well, geez, don't I feel stupid? I'm going to have to go look back at the footage and be like, oh, yeah, sure enough, there's LSE and Barney. And there I go saying LSEM. What is LS, the Lightspeed esports team, up to these days?
I mean, same as usual. Mostly Torah stuff. I think occasionally we do like the Sunshine League, but it is just mostly Torah.
Are you doing the 24 hours of Daytona this Saturday?
Yeah, me and a team of 3 other people are.
Who should people be looking out for you for as like your teammate? Who, like, if somebody were to say, "Hey, I want to know who LSE and Barney's racing with," who is it?
LS Fish, LS Wolf, and I think LS Bolt too.
At some point,
those are the others.
Gotcha. At some point, I'll learn to drop the EM part from your moniker.
Yeah.
Barney, let's go ahead and talk about the here and now. 360 Challenge Stradale now out in the rain at Hockenheim Ring. Is that kind of a dreadful combination, or are you looking forward to it?
Well, I think I'm much stronger in the rain than in the dry, which is, as most of the people in the racing knows, I love Suzuka in the wet.
Okay.
So I find wet being my strong points.
Awesome. And maybe I'm trying to recall where you qualified out there at Daytona, but well, you said it. You said it was 9th position, right?
Yeah.
So maybe just a little bit more focus here on this qualifying session, see yourself a little bit further up in the pack, and then make a run for the top 3?
Yeah, I'm hoping for at least like top 7, and hopefully I can claw places up from there.
Very good. LSE and Barney, I'll drop the SM or the EM at some point. I don't know when, but I will. Best of luck to you here in race number 2 and qualifying.
All right, thanks.
Oh, man, the struggle is real in trying to for so long when you get used to just saying, and I swear, I don't recall him from the past seasons. I think he's pulling a quick one on me where he's saying he was there. I just don't remember. I need Slow Motion Fire to validate this for me. I see him there in the chat that says, let's hope the 2 races go smoother. I hope they go smoother, and I hope my frames come back. Now I don't understand what's going on with the frames. What is happening? Oh, my, oh, my. Rami the Dev, thank you for the follow. I know it was 14 minutes ago, but thank you so much for clicking that follow button. Great to have you. Hopefully you're still here, and hopefully you're enjoying the broadcast, despite the fact that apparently we're going through a bit of a hiccup with the lobby. And apparently it's on my end, because now even Forza's telling me there in the lobby that I'm experiencing low bandwidth. What is going on today? What is going on today? I really wish I could say what it is, because it is annoying as all heck right now at this point. And then HP or H Peters 027, thank you for your follow. Welcome to the broadcast. And now we've got, looks like all 23 drivers readied up, about to hit the track. And gosh, I don't know what's going on with the broadcast. I don't know what's going on with my ISP right now. Get it together, ISP who shall remain unnamed. Here we go. First off the line, that's going to be AP1 Raccoon, followed by Corvid, and then Floofy. I don't see any rain falling right now, and that to me seems to indicate that we're not going to see it during qualifying. Now, Fear the Fun appeared to be very clear that there will be rain during the race. I thought I saw 80% as the highest chance possible. Maybe he knows something that I don't know. But I don't know. Barney was okay with it raining, but I'm sure there's quite a few other drivers who are ready to, not ready, but just don't want to see the rain at all. Come on, Frames. Hang out with me, you and me. Let's do this at least for the next 45 minutes. Throw those stats there in the bottom left-hand corner. Corvid, who picked up a third-place finish there in race number 1. I think that's good for 45 points. Here to Floofy's 47 and McQueen's 50. Oh, and the game audio is really loud, isn't it? There we go. Let me fix that. It is something of a weird night. I hope the next 4 Tuesdays are much better. If you're watching for the first time and you're like, man, what is this crap show right now? It gets better. It will get better. That's my guarantee to you. We're going to stamp the X-Venture guarantee. Things will get better. That's the mantra here. Not only for the broadcast, but for 2021. Across the line they go. SGR Corbin with a 153.362. Clean. That's the key. Floofy now with a 152.430. 23 drivers, I think, have made it out on the track. That's awesome. We should have had a full lobby for the first race, and then Kuda93 was unable to ready up and get loaded in. So that started out with 20. That started us out with 22, and then we lost an additional 3 drivers, I think it was. Let's try to hold on to everybody here. Race number 2, and even for those like Fear the Fun, Slipstream, who had not the greatest run there in race number 1. That's okay. This could be their drop week. Again, if things don't improve for them across the next 4 weeks, then maybe one of those weeks will be the drop week. But you can rest assured that at least 1 week will be discounted from your total championship points tally, and only your top 4 weeks will count. Now, where you really want to score big is in week number 5. That 9th and final race is just 1 race. So you don't have a chance to kind of goof things up in the first race of the finale and then maybe recover in the final race. No, it's just 1 race. And it's double the points as a result. So you really want to nail things down in terms of your point situation heading into that 9th and final race in week number 5, and then finish that race in week number 9. You don't finish that race in week number 9, that could be the proverbial nail in the coffin for you. But if you can rely on week 5 as being your drop week, well, then you're in a pretty good spot. Craytrim now coming across the line for the beginning of the 3rd qualifying lap here, and as such, in doing so, picks up 3rd quickest time out there. SGR Floofy now with pole at 1:49.221. We're gonna go ahead. I'm sorry, with the day being as crazy as it is. I had been off my predictor game, the predictor feature here in the broadcast. Let's get it going here for the race itself. Will McQueen win race 2? Yes or no? It's quite simple. And we'll go ahead and we'll drop 15 minutes on that sucker. So you guys got plenty of time to weigh in on what you think will happen. Will McQueen win race number 2 out here at Hockenheim? Vote yes, vote no. Increase the amount of points that you put in to up the ante a bit. And then when you win those channel points, hold on to them, because, again, those channel points usually go pretty far here at X Venture. Like to make them redeemable for entries into viewer raffles. So if you win some, hold on to them. Give them some purpose in the future. But for right now, go ahead and wage a bet on whether or not McQueen will get the his second win here of season 38. Ghibli Giblet saying, I'm glad to have made it. Even if the screen was blank, I'd still tune in to listen. It almost was that way. Well, the screen wasn't almost blank. We almost had no lobby to log into. And I'm actually starting to think about it. Because we had a full lobby here tonight, I'm wondering if really I didn't have a problem, and what it was that the lobby was full. Have to touch base with Slow Motion Fire and see if that might have been the case as Slipstream comes across the line for the final time. McQueen right now has jumped back into the pole spot with a 1:49.075. So Floofy will be opposite of him, at least for now. We still have, looks like Joe Beardy, who's got the 5th quickest time, and a few others. Audrex, Stevie Superstack, finishing out their qualifying session here ahead of race number 2. It'll be 15 laps here. 15 at Hockenheim full. Hockenheimring. Come on, get those channel points going. You guys got plenty of time, but don't procrastinate. Participate now. Do it now. Your participation is mandatory. This is mandatory fun here on X Venture. You will use your pit points, your channel points. It's that little wrench icon. If you need a little help, it's that little wrench icon that's at the bottom of your screen, or at the bottom of your chat, pardon me, at the bottom of your chat. And it tells you that you have so many points. Those points are earned just simply by watching the broadcast. The more you watch, the more points you earn, the more you can wager. And then once we have a viewer giveaway, which is made possible through the subscriptions, the ad revenue, and other monetary contributions that the channel may receive, then from time to time we do viewer giveaways. Yeah, because 100% of the proceeds that I get after Twitch takes their cut, I turn those back around and try to give them back to the community. Let's see if anybody wants to join us here in the driver's spotlight before we get race number 2 underway out at Hockenheimring, where, again, Fear the Fun's telling me that we are going to have some precipitation. I don't know. It's very misty. It's very foggy out there coming out of qualifying. We'll see if the clouds drop a deluge on us here. Go ahead and turn the game audio off. I don't see anybody there in the driver's spotlight queue, at least for right now. It would be a fool's bet to go against McQueen. Well, you never know. You never know. I see we've got four total viewers voting on McQueen to win. Is anybody going to go to the other side of that poll? Is anybody going to say, no, McQueen shall not win the race? Somebody else will. Drop some channel points on that one, if you will. And then, of course, if you want to vote yes, you can. It's just, at this point, we need a vote on either side of the poll so that you guys can win something. Or risk losing something as well. You can ante up the amount of channel points, by the way. You don't have to go with the default. I think it's like 10 points default. You can increase those incrementally, depending on how many points you actually have. There's a look at the challenge Stradale. Oh, look at that. We've got one person who's going to go out on a limb. All right, here we go. Here we go. You guys stand to win or lose something now. Now we got it going. Paula Brady, Paula Brady, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Great to have you here. Happy Tuesday to you. A700 is the performance index here in Forza Motorsport 7. What that basically represents is the vehicle's capability both in acceleration, handling, cornering, top speed, braking. A lot of things factor into that. A700 is about a little bit more than midway up the PI scale. You're getting close to S class, which is then followed by R class, which is then followed by the P classes, and then X class at the top of the, or at the far right side of the spectrum, and then all the way down to F class. I think it's F class, the far left for the low-performing vehicles. So we're pretty high up there. The 360 Challenge Stradale starts out in A class, so they haven't done a whole heck of a lot to the vehicle to boost it up to where it is. A few performance index points has brought it up to A700. I mean, it's just a dream car to drive, at least in my opinion. It's a great car. It's a car that's been in the Forza franchise for quite some time. It used to be a unicorn vehicle, so you had to do some things within the community to have a chance to win the vehicle. And I think if we date ourselves all the way back to Forza Motorsport 2, when there was an auction house, they threw the unicorns out on the auction house and people could bid on them, and they would go for a very exorbitant amount of in-game credits. And then I think the unicorns then came off the auction house, and I mean, it's just crazy. But now we have the 360 Challenge Stradale as just part of the game, the base game that you can get one of the vehicles, and it's so much fun to drive. It really, really is. Chaos Fox says, I botched my quali, so I don't know. Besides McQueen is so fast, I'm hopeless. Says Chaos Fox. Yeah, I think you're a little bit too down on yourself there, Chaos Fox. I think you're quite all right there in the top 10, finishing in well, what did you get? 11th position there out of Daytona. You can turn it around. You'll get top 10. I believe in you. All right, we've got almost all the drivers. It's Cuda93 again, who hasn't readied up. And Carryout hasn't readied up either. The fat lady hasn't sung yet. Yeah, as that old cliche goes, that proverbial saying. She has not. It's race 1 is the only one we've completed out of 9 races this season. So plenty of racing to go. And finishing better than halfway through the field is not half bad. It's more than half good. You did pretty darn good. So man, I think you're off to a decent start. All right, here we go. Chaos Fox says, please don't punt me, Slow Motion Fire, letting us know that we're getting ready to go. We'll go ahead and put the camera here on Floofy, who's going to, again, line up opposite of RZ and McQueen, who grabs pole for the second straight time here in season number 38. And please bear with me, folks. I really don't understand what's going on with the frames. This whole night has just been a weird series. We've been broadcasting on Tuesdays ever since we got done with season 37, and we haven't had the headaches that we're running into here tonight. So all I can say is let's all hope for a week from tonight things are looking up. I hear the chopper. There's McQueen on pole. on the outside heading into turn number 1. As soon as McQueen leaves, all the other drivers, they too can accelerate. A few blinks of the brake lights there from McQueen, perhaps giving a bit of a signal or maybe trying to fool somebody. And here we go, kick the tires, light the fires. It's Hockenheim Ring for race number 2, season 38 in the opening week here in 2021. Out of turn number 1, few of our drivers going a little bit wide there into the runoff area, as would be expected when you got 23 drivers heading in there simultaneously. And now into turn number 2 they go, the full track here out at Hockenheim Ring. I love it. I love this circuit. It doesn't necessarily rank into my top 5, but I still love it nonetheless. And now down the back straightaway, McQueen leads them with the 2 SGR drivers. Scrubs Go Racing, both Floofy and Corvid there, 2 and 3, followed by Joe Beardy, who is sitting in 4th. That's where he finished race number 1. Stevie Superstack in 5th, Craterum in 6th, DOR Carryout, then it's Slipstream, Barney, and Fear the Fun, who round out the top 10. Underneath the Xbox One bridge goes Floofy. Heading toward the Mercedes Arena area. Kick up the dust a little bit there at the apex of the right-hander, and now into the slow, very high-angled left corner there at the Mercedes Arena. Now you exit that, and out onto that runoff area goes Floofy before he gets ready to make a turn here into the right, followed by the left. And actually, this is the Mercedes Arena portion, I do believe. I don't know. There's so many Mercedes arenas that exist in the world. They've got that down pat. They've got it figured out. Savage Reaper 89. Thank you so much for the follow. And across the line they go. McQueen holding on to the top spot here. Make that 16 straight laps now that he's been leading here in season 38. Let's drop back a little bit. Let's go to Fear the Fun, who's in 9th after having that DNF that did not finish in race number 1 out at the Sport Car Circuit of Daytona. Looks like a few wrinkles there on the hood of Fear the Fun's car, so maybe got the nose into the back of one of the other 360 Stradales out on the track, but doesn't seem to be enough to render a pit stop. And oh yeah, here comes even more ominous skies. Will that rain fall? And oh, who's that? That's Stevie Superstacks there in that blue Ferrari, well wide through the hairpin. And oh, a little bit of contact there. Jacob T. BOED with Barf Monkey, it looks like. A recovery. Oh, and there goes Fear the Fun getting tangled up with Slipstream. You heard that one. And now they're going to go wheel to wheel, rocker panel to rocker panel. And at least for now, Slipstream up to 10th, Fear to 11th. Riding on board here with Fear the Fun now into 12th as Barf Monkey moves up to 11th. And let's go take a look at that X-Venture Rewind there, the contact. Not only with Jacob T and Barf, but then also Fear and Slip. And now Fear, 2 wheels off into the grass. Cuda snakes around him. Not snakes, but sneaks. And another one gets by Fear the Fun. That's going to be Modern Weapon, and a little bit of contact there as they come down out of turn number 1 into turn 2. Fear the Fun's going to go onto the low line over the apex and the curbing there, the blue and white curbing. And now Chaos Fox and Fear the Fun goes off the track once again. We saw this out at Daytona. Let's go up to 7th. LS Barney. Ha! I did it. Snake is snake. LS Barney there in 7th position. He's got Carry Out behind him in 8th and Audrex in 9th. Out in front, Barney, it's Cratrium in 6th position, Joe Beardy in 5th, and then Stevie in 4th. Corbin in 3rd, Fluvy in 2nd, McQueen in 1st. A little bit of deja vu there in the top 3. And hey, that's me, Dustin Moore. Thanks for tuning in. Opening week, season 38 of the Forza Spec Racing Series. And if you've been here since the very beginning of the broadcast, my sincere appreciation for you doing so, because of the hiccups that we've encountered. As a matter of fact, I'm showing my drop frames right now, I kid you not, at 6,666. That's how creepy tonight has been going along. It's scary, folks. And then we've got fog out here at Hockenheim Ring to pile on with the mood. Barney now into turn 2. He's got carry out right there, back behind him. You haven't heard any hiccup once. Yeah, well, the hiccups haven't been coming from me. It's been technology. And actually, like I said, I don't even know that really at the beginning of the broadcast I was truly experiencing an issue. I think the lobby might have been full, which is the reason I would have been prevented from even joining it in the first place. So who knows? Who knows? Joe Beardy starting to give up a little bit of ground there as Cratrum closes in about a half car length. And then we see Barney here with the spider on the hood. Talk with Barney there in the driver's spotlight coming out of the first race where he finished in 5th. Cratrum going to make a move here on Joe as we watch it from afar. Let's go ahead and bump our way up to 6th there with Cratrum. By the way, folks, make this mark this as my one solicitation here in the broadcast. If you're enjoying the broadcast, please click the follow button. That I've already said. However, if you believe that the entertainment, the content that you're seeing here tonight, and maybe over the course of other broadcasts that we've got going on here on Fridays and Sundays on XVenture, your subscription, either by way of, gosh, what is it now? It's Prime Gaming. It's not Twitch Prime anymore. It's Prime Gaming. You get your free monthly subscription by way of your Amazon Prime subscription if you have the two accounts tied together. And I guess I don't have that as a command. Or through a monetary subscription, that works as well. Proceeds from those donations, those contributions, after Twitch takes their cut, go back into the broadcast for production improvement opportunities, and then also for viewer giveaways. If you happen to be a subscriber here and now, or in the future between now and February the 2nd, you can name a corner out at Virginia International Raceway come race 9 in week number 5. Yes, you can name a corner, and I will call it in that race. Between now and February the 2nd, subscribe to XVenture, and then follow that link that Nightbot has provided, and you can name a corner in the XVenture subscribers takeover. Here comes Joe Beardy now. Continues to give Cratrum a hard time. It's a battle for 5th position. Stevie Superstack starting to take off here, putting these guys back further away from him, which I'm sure he's very happy about, because there's 4 charging, prancing horses here in the Ferraris. It's Cratrum in 5th, Joe Beardy in 6th, Barney in 7th, and there goes Joe Beardy. I don't know if that was late braking or if he was genuinely trying to make a move there. And then carry out in 8th position, Audrex in 9th. So a great grouping of cars here, and then it's followed by another grouping of Slipstream in 10th, Jacob T. BOED in 11th, and it's Barf Monkey, Fear the Fun. And then another group being led by SGR Chaos Fox, and oh no, here come the rain showers. I see it. It's starting to happen, and we'll see the windscreen wipers go in here pretty soon. Back behind Chaos Fox, who is in 14th, it is Kuda in 15th, Modern Weapon in 16th, Fox Jason D, Born as Ghost, AP1 Raccoon, Slow Motion Fire. Then in 21st position, it's Mega Chin, Slim Jim, Savage Reaper, 23 cars of the 23 who started out here at Hockenheim Ring, still out on the track. Coronavera, what's going on? Welcome. My name is fun to say, so I'll name a fun corner, preferably one that could send drivers airborne. Oh gosh, Virginia International Raceway. There's plenty of cars to, or excuse me, plenty of corners to usher cars off the track there. I'm sure we're going to hear a lot of complaints from drivers about saying, hey, really, we got to race VIR? Really? And then there might be folks who actually love it. On board with Audrex. Just seems like light showers right now. Nothing too heavy. The track surface is getting a bit wet. I don't know that we're going to have enough rain here to see some puddles form. But we'll see how this weather plays out. Into the final two right-handers here on or around the drag strip. Yes, there's a drag strip out here at Hockenheim Ring. And now out of that final turn, charging toward the line, beginning of lap number 7 here for Barney on back through to Audrex in 9th. Air Ghibli sounds fun. Fly in turd. I'm not afraid of saying it. Fly in turd. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for the follow. McQueen doing what McQueen does. And for those of you who said that McQueen is going to win this race, you're in a good spot right now. Still, half the race remaining in this 15-lap event. 16th lap is a cool down. Let's jump back to our 10th place driver, Slipstream, who's trying to catch up with Audrex, Carry Out and company. Flying Turd says, I might have to get into these spec races. Looks pretty fun. As I understand it, they do have a bit of a reserves list right now because, yeah, we've got a full lobby here tonight, but that shouldn't dissuade you from signing up. Head on over to reddit.com/r/FM4. Get signed up, and then that way, if there is a hole in the grid in the upcoming 4 weeks, you can fill it, and then after season 38, if you still enjoy what you've experienced here in season 38, you can jump into season 39. Slow Motion Fire, Modern Weapon, Fear the Fun, and others do a wonderful job at putting this series together. One of the longest run that you will find in the Forza community, and I mean, minus those bigger associations like Tora, where you've got a lot more. Oh, and there goes Carry Out spinning out of turn number 1. He's going to see Slipstream drive on by. And let's see if Carry Out's able to make a pretty quick recovery here. He falls back now to 13th position. Jacob T, Fear the Fun, and Barf Monkey getting by. 3 spots now. 3 spots down there for Carry Out. Paula says, I'm an F1 racer myself, but I enjoy all kinds of motorsport. Yeah, I mean, and with the competition here, the nice, clean, sportsman-like competition that we have here in the Forza Spec Racing Series, how can you not enjoy this? If you're a racing fan, or you're a motorsport fan, real world or otherwise, I feel like this is a good way to spend a Tuesday. I may be a little biased, but I'm going to venture to guess that it is. Let's get back. Let's go to Joe Beardy, actually, who's between Audrex and Barney. And there goes Joe Beardy making a pass there. He's got it. I think he's going to be able to block Barney. He does. A few sparks there as Barney gets on the rear bumper. And as they head into the two right-handers, can Joe hold on to it on up to turn number 1? I think he can. The Virtucon car. The yellow 360 Stradale. Picking up 6th. Primo, 914. Atta kid. Here comes Barney, though. He's going to challenge him for it. He wants his spot back as they go to turn number 2. And just like that, that's how quickly you can gain a position and then lose it. But let's watch the beautiful pass there that Joe Beardy made a half a lap back. I'm sure Barney's going to argue that his pass was more beautiful. But hey, I only have enough space to run back the tape. That's just short track racing for you, indeed. Pedantic squirrel. Good to see you again. Welcome back. Who's excited about the Corvette C8 in Forza Horizon 4? I am. I've got my hand up. Looking forward to that one. It'll be dropping Thursday. That'll be fun. Very curious to see what's going to happen in the world of Forza here in 2021. We've heard about Forza Motorsport, so they've dropped the numbered iteration off the name here for this upcoming title, which lends me to believe that this next Forza Motorsport might be a very long-lasting title. It might be a game-as-a-service type thing. Oh, that's happening? I've been out of the loop. Yeah, Pedantic, the C8 coming to Horizon 4 here as part of the summer seasonal update, which they roll into summer on Thursday, so you don't have to wait very long. And I think all you have to do is complete one of the seasonal events. So all you have to do is race 3 races, and boom, you get the car. It's not one of those 50% type things. Just run the one race that it's assigned to, and you pick up the vet. McQueen, our race leader here in race number 2 of 2 this evening to wrap up week number 1. Then we'll be back at it a week from tonight, same time, same channel, 8 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you here. Followed by Floofy in second, Corbin in third. That's where those 3 finished out there at the Daytona Sport Car Circuit. Stevie Superstack, who finished 7th, is now currently in 4th. And oh no, Audrex gets spun around, and that's going to catch, it looks like Barf Monkey and a few others. Maybe Slipstream? Alongside the the 90 IROC Z Camaro, yep, and the Honda S800. Yes, I knew there were 2 other cars. I couldn't remember what they were. I thought it was the Camaro. Slipstream has recovered, but now as I look a little bit further back, Audrex in 10th. He took out Jacob TBOD with him. That, or maybe Jacob and Audrex got into it together there at the hairpin. Either way, Jacob's in 11th. Fear the Fun is in 12th. Fear probably rather he forget that this night happened. There's Joe Beardy in 7th position. As a reminder, folks, one of the 3 broadcast days in a week is Friday here on X-Venture. Find it, fix it, flip it. Episode number 2 coming at you here on Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We had our first Find It, Fix It, Flip It last Friday. Put together a Cordoba and a Lotus Elise. We've got a Ford Mach 1 and a Mazda RX-3 to assemble. Again, this Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on X-Venture. Barney and Beardy down the back straightaway, 6th and 7th respectively. They've got Barf Monkey, Slipstream, and Audrex behind them in 8th, 9th, and 10th. And then things are, they're starting to thin out again. It's back here in 14th with Chaos Fox, followed by Kuda, Born as Ghost, Modern Weapon, and Raccoon, where it remains interesting. Let's go to Fear the Fun in 12th. And RZM McQueen now charging back toward the start-finish line will begin lap 12 of 15. Pretty moderate rain. I mean, it's not too heavy, not too light. You do see a few little bits of water ponding on the track, a very flat track, so you would expect there to be the ponding that we're seeing. And here to the inside of Fear goes Carry Out. Carry Out trying to make a recovery after a spill out of turn 1 about 2 or 3 laps ago. Pedantic Squirrel giving a tier 1 sub to T. Milius CA. Thank you so much there, Pedantic. Congratulations, T. Milius. Very, very kind of you. Picking up a gifted sub badge. And was that Barf Monkey who went off track? I think it was. There's Slipstream now getting ready to be passed by the Barf Monkey. Audrex working his way back up into the top 10 after getting spun around in the hairpin. Pretty decent recovery. Audrex finished 8th out at the Daytona Sport Car Circuit. In addition to Friday's Find It, Fix It, Flip It, we've got episode number 9 of Saddle Up Sundays coming to you here on Sunday. Go figure. It's in the name. 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Right here on X Venture. We're getting very, very close to the end of the Vanderlyn gang's. It's not even dominance. It's barely anything. It's hanging by a thread. We continue to follow the storyline of Arthur Morgan. What will happen next? Red Dead Redemption 2, my playthrough this Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern. Across the line goes this grouping, beginning of lap 13 for them. RZ and McQueen on the complete opposite side of the track from where we are watching. Remarkable. 17th position, AP1 Raccoon. Crossing the line, Born as Ghost. As they go into turn number 1, very well choreographed there. Not taking each other out. There's the Sprunk livery of AP1 Raccoon, hearkening to Grand Theft Auto, the video game. Fictional Businesses is the name of the theme here, season 38. Little contact there, Slipstream and Monkey. I'm telling you here, from about 6th on back to 12th, seems like it's been a little bit of a, not a demolition derby, but some bumper cars. And there goes Slipstream getting the back end of the rear-wheel drive 360 out and almost into the passenger door of Ellis Barney. And that's not 360 in terms of a spin. The 360 Challenge Stradale able to keep it from being a 360 spin. And now RZ and McQueen across the line. Next time by will be the white flag. Back to Slipstream behind Barf Monkey. Pedantic, RG Bargy Slugfest. It's just elbows out racing. That's all it is. I don't think there's anything that warrants any sort of warning or anything. It's as clean of contact racing as I've ever seen. Oh no, I know you didn't mean it in a bad way. I just don't mean it. I don't mean to call out the contact to suggest that it's anything more than just accidental and minimal. I know sometimes whenever I point out the contact, some drivers may feel like I'm suggesting that anything that was happening was purposeful. Not the case at all. Very, very clean and well-run group of racers here is FM4. And again, for those of you who are the least bit interested, I say the least bit interested because even if you're sitting there and you're like, this looks fun, I may be quick or I may not be the quickest, but I am definitely interested in participating, head on over to reddit.com/r/FM4. Everything you need to know can be found there. DUR Carryout here in 12th position, followed by Fear the Fun. Again, he much rather just forget this week, but we'll see what he can make out of it, make of season 38 in week 2. Behind him is Chaos Fox, who I was rooting him on, saying, hey, I think you'll get top 10. Unfortunately, finding himself 4 spots back from that. Then it's Kuda, Born as Ghost, AP1 Raccoon, Modern Weapon, Fox, Jason Deef, Soul Motion Fire, Mega Chin, Slim Jim, and Savage Reaper. We've got all the drivers still out on the track. That I love to see. Of all the craziness that has happened this evening, the thought of having a complete finish here with all drivers, it brings a smile to my face. Let's go to Stevie Superstack. This is going to be our closest battle, not only in the top 5, but also the top 10. And it's not that close, but any mistake there by Corvid could jeopardize 3rd position here on this final lap. About half the lap remaining. Flying Turd says it was honestly kind of hard to find the sign up, but I eventually found it. Yeah, I mean, any feedback that you have, Soul Motion Fire is the guy to go to. I know for those who have participated in FM4 for consecutive years and all that, they're familiar with how the process works. But if you find yourself getting lost, Soul Motion Fire on Xbox Live, he's the ringleader here. You can also reach out to Modern Weapon, and that's both those O's are actually zeros, or Fear the Fun on Xbox Live. That's Fear, I believe, a space, and then the Fun 1. Or you can catch them on Twitter. The FM4 Twitter handle is at FM4 underscore spec, I believe it is. And now crossing the line, let's go ahead and give them a little bit of love here. Arzian McQueen picking up his 2nd win here in season 38 in as many races. SGR Floofy's going to come across the line in 2nd. Then it's Corvid in 3rd. We had Stevie Superstacks on camera. Can he make the pass here in the final right-hander? He will not. So Corvid will finish out in 3rd for the 2nd race in as many races here. And then it's Stevie in 4th. Cratrium going to come across the line in 5th. Joe Beardy maybe in 6th. If Barney has anything to say about it, he may not. Let's see. And it looks like Joe will hold on to it. Yes, he does. Joe Beardy in 6th. Barney in 7th. Slipstream in 8th. Barf in 9th. Audrex in 10th. Jacob T in 11th. Carryout looks to secure 12th after an incident there at the midpoint of the race. Then Fear the Fun in 13th, and then we've got a battle here for 14th. Chaos Fox has dropped back 1 spot to 15th as they come up to the line. It's Chaos Fox in 15th, Born as Ghost, AP1 Raccoon 16th and 17th. And then behind them in 18th, that's going to be Modern Weapon, then Soul Motion Fire in 19th, Fox Jason D, Savage Reaper, Slim Jim, Mega Chin. All 23 drivers finishing. I don't think I've ever had that in a broadcast. Not only for FM4, but for any race that I've either hosted or broadcast where all the drivers finish the entirety of the event. Okay, folks, well, there you go. Week 1 complete, but hang tight. We're going to preview week 2. We're going to talk a little bit more about what's to come here on X Venture. I'm going to remind you all about how to get a little bit more involved for the 9th and final race of the season. What does that look like? And then that'll be it. Oh, and we'll maybe talk to a couple drivers in the driver spotlight. There's that too. Hang tight. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Appreciate y'all hanging out. I'm X Venture. Well, I'm Dustin Moore. This is X Venture. Live on Twitch TV. Forza Spec Racing Series, Season 38. It's X Venture, and we're on Twitch TV, and we've managed to make it through week number 1 despite all the craziness at the onset of tonight's broadcast. Big kudos to those of you who have hunkered down and made it through along with me for this ride. Hopefully the fourth, not the fourth, but the 4 forthcoming weeks are a little bit smoother. Speaking of smooth, and one driver who can't really get any more consistent than he did, I mean, I guess there are 2 other drivers that were more consistent just because of their finishing position, but SGR Corvid picking up a 3rd-place finish not only out at the Daytona Sport Car Circuit, but out here at Hockenheimring. I think that's pretty good. You were in position for a P2 finish, but your SGR brethren, Floofy, was able to get around you, but are you pretty happy with how things went tonight?
Yeah, I haven't actually touched Forza in a few months, so this is my first real event back. So double podiums is about twice as good as I could have asked for. I could have possibly gotten second on the podium if it wasn't for a small mistake into the bus stop at Daytona, but that's neither here nor there. I'm happy with where I came out, and I'm happy where SGR came out this week as well.
Indeed, yeah, it's great to see not only your return, but Floofy, who I think has been out for quite a bit longer in the Forza Spec Racing Series, making a return, and now you two are battling it on the track. Is that pretty typical? Is that what you see? Is that you guys are pretty even keeled in terms of skill level, or maybe that dissipates a little bit here as the season continues?
So honestly, I've never really had the opportunity to race with Floofy
Oh,
as
wow.
much as I would have liked. We've had a couple battles here and there. He's generally been the quicker driver of the two. So third's about the best I could have expected coming into this. I honestly expected top 5 to kind of be my goal, so I definitely outperformed where I thought I was going to be.
Yeah, he top 5 and then some, grabbing 2 third-place finishes here as we chat with SGR Corvid in the driver's spotlight. What was it that had you pretty excited about season 38? Was it just getting back into the thick of racing, or was it the Ferrari? What was it?
I've been trying to get this car chosen since I joined. There's this car and one other car that I had on my sticky note of cars that didn't get crossed out. So I'm hoping that I can find something to take it to McQueen and possibly get that other car crossed out later. And I believe it'd be the end of March.
That would be pretty cool to have your you've got this car in mind that you want to see raced here in this league, and you be the one to make it happen would be pretty cool. So tell us a little bit about that. I mean, you say perhaps make a run here at McQueen. Do you kind of go back to the tune a little bit and look at the tune, or is it maybe just, hey, it's going to have to come in qualifying, going to have to be spot on in qualifying, and then just maybe find a little bit more in the car to get you around that much quicker? What's it going to be?
It's kind of a combination of all of it. I think once I sort of fall back into the groove with Forza, some of that pace is going to come out naturally in myself. But the issues that we as SGR ran into regarding McQueen this round is we couldn't pressure him. In race 1, we ended up just battling each other because he just ran away. So the first goal is going to be sticking up with him, pressuring him, seeing if we can get him to make a mistake or something, and capitalizing on those. Unfortunately, with other racing obligations within the Forza community, practice time's kind of been limited for the Ferrari season because there's a 24-hour event going on. Some Chaos Fox is running a BMW series, so we're kind of spread thin, but we're going to go back. We're going to look at the tune. We're going to look at what we can do with the car, with strategy, and see if we can find something to answer for RZM.
Very good. I mean, that's the best you can do is kind of go back as a team and say, hey, what do we have to do? What can we do to this car and to our driving style to maybe prevent McQueen from doing a clean sweep? I was about to say a queen sweep, but that would be I guess it's fitting for his name. Yeah, that all sounds about right. Is there a particular week that you're looking at as we have the viewers looking at the schedule here? Is there a particular week? No fictional racetracks here in season 38, but any of these tracks look that much more appealing and maybe an opportunity for you to get a leg up?
I've put a lot of time in at the Nordschleife, but I feel like everyone has. I can tell you week 2 is probably going to be the weirdest week.
Yeah.
These are purpose-built race cars that are on the edge of road legal, and they weren't designed to go on ovals. So they're a bit of a handful around the Brickyard. So that's most likely going to be my drop week there. And then Long Beach West is just a meme. It'll be hilarious. I feel sorry for you in advance trying to call that.
Hey, I did Rio de Janeiro last season and actually went pretty well. It was a pretty entertaining race to watch. So maybe Long Beach West will be right up that same alley.
There's just going to be cars everywhere. Someone's going to get stuck in the flower beds. It'll be hilarious.
Corbin, well, great to have you back here in FM4 for another season. Any shout-outs for you here this evening?
Yeah, my parents and my sibling were watching this week, so I'm going to shout out Jeff, Tamara, and Patrick. Patrick's been blowing up my phone trying to get mentioned on stream, so...
There you go, Patrick. Well, Corbin, thanks for taking the time to chat, and we'll see you in week 2.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's see. Jacob T, BOED. I think you got two of the same place finishes very akin to Corbin there, but yours happen to be, let's see, 11th, I think.
Yep.
Two 11th place finishes, just outside the top 10. So I'm guessing you're going to be fighting pretty hard to see yourself into the top 10 week 2.
Yeah, I'm going to do everything in my power. I'm a little nervous about doing the actual oval. They're not really my strong suit. And at this point, I think it's just tradition that both races I get the same position or I horribly whiff in one of them and end up getting like 19th or something.
What's going to be more fruitful for you? Will it be the sport car, well, I guess the GP circuit, and it'll be the classic variety, or will it be the oval? I don't know. The GP for me is it's not a place that I like to visit, so I would be favoring the oval. What about you?
See, that's the tough question because I don't like the GP layout
Yeah.
either, but I really don't like ovals. I have a feeling. How many laps are we doing? 30?
Yes. Yeah. 30.
Give
32.
it 20 or 21. I'm going to be thinking somewhere in my mind if I mix blue Powerade and Dr. Pepper, if it'll taste good. That'll be my thought process. I'll completely forget about the race.
Oh man, I've not even tried that before. That's
It's actually pretty good.
all right. Well, gosh, that just got me all kinds of thinking of what that tastes like. But man, I'll have to give it a go
science
sometime.
lesson.
Joe Beardy,
like-
yeah. Excuse me, Jacob TBOD here in the driver's spotlight.
That's twice that you called me Joe. I'm just gonna start calling you Aaron for every time you do it.
The two J's. I don't often come across a league or even gamer tags that start with J's. So the Joe and the Jacob T throwing me off. I mean, you were in the mix there with quite a bit of the craziness that was, I don't know, 7th place on back to 10th, 11th, and 12th. It seemed like at one point there out at Hockenheim Ring, maybe Audrex got spun around and perhaps you got caught up in that. What was that experience from your perspective?
I'm going to be honest. I didn't. It wasn't clicking in my brain how wet the track was getting. I kind of missed my braking point. I overshot the turn, so by the time I turned in, everything had already happened, and it was just drive up the middle. But I was happy to get a position, so.
Yeah. Okay.
No complaints.
Yeah. No complaints for Jacob. Yeah, I wouldn't have any complaints either. Pretty good recovery there. I'm guessing that battle there, that pack. I mean, the mid pack is always really kind of the one to watch, not only here in FM4 but in a lot of different racing disciplines. Is that exciting, or would you rather be outside the pack, kind of running your own race?
I'd rather be in there in the mix.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just if I wanted a hot lap, I would just play the single player. I like having other cars around me.
That's the answer we like to hear. Jacob, great chatting with you. Any shout-outs for you this evening here before we wrap things up?
I'm going to give a shout-out to Chaos Fox, as always. I want to give a shout-out to Jay and Hoot Wheels over at Okayist. My teammates on Okayist, Andy and Caster, AP1 Raccoon. And my friend Robert A. Bowie, we call him Bob A. Bowie for short.
Very good, very good. Shout outs to all those folks. Some of those names I am familiar with, so if they're either watching or maybe watching this on demand, hello from me as well. And Jacob, always great chatting with you. Hope to talk again next week, and have a great rest of the week.
You as well. I'll see you next week.
There you go, folks. Week 1 is a wrap, and that's all of our drivers in the driver's spotlight. Either the other ones are too shy to do it, or we've got other folks who are maybe saving it for another day. Maybe they're like, nah, I'd rather chat another time. Let's not do it here in week number 1. Either way, thanks to all the drivers who participated today. We had full lobby to begin, or at least we were flirting with it for race number 1, and unfortunately couldn't get loaded in. So we were one driver shy there in the first race. We did get a full lobby in race number 2 and closed it out that way as well. So not only starting with a full lobby, but then ending, which is the best kind of race, where everybody's still out there when the checkered flag drops. For all of the subscriptions, Pedantic with the gifted sub, all the follows. One of the more, I guess, you guys, for those of you who are subscribers and then those of you who are new to the channel and followed, probably one of the more active nights that we've had in quite some time. So that always brings kind of a warmthness to my heart to have that kind of support and appreciation from you all. For those of you who did subscribe tonight, and for those of you who have been subscribed in the past, or well, you're still subscribed, and maybe you didn't do it tonight, but you've done it previously, and you still are a sub, make sure you're heading on over there to the Google form link that Nightbot is dropping into the chat right now, because between now and February 2nd, subs get to name a corner for the grand finale race that is happening out at Virginia International Raceway there on February the 9th. Yes, you have to sub and complete the form by the 2nd. That way I can do all the editing that needs to be done, because I will have a visual to start that event of all the corners and the people who have named them. We'll have your Twitch avatar next to the corner so that folks can see who's who and who named it what, who we can hold responsible for some of the goofy names. Yes, I will throw it out there. This is a family-friendly broadcast, so as you're coming up with names, let's try to keep that in mind. I know sometimes we like to, sometimes innuendos and other funny things like to creep into our thought process, but if we can keep it family-friendly, that would be appreciated. That way I don't have to come back to you and say, hey, lovely, but let's try again. Fill out that form, and that's all you got to do. Be a subscriber, fill out the form, and then I'll be calling out corners as we go around the track there on February the 9th for race number 9, the grand finale here in season 38. Good stuff there. Good stuff there. Let's see here. Going to go ahead and switch it on over to our final deck of slides here. Here are all the broadcasts that are coming up, to include Friday's Find It, Fix It, Flip It at 6 p.m. Eastern. Then on Sunday, Saddle Up Sunday. It's a good one. Episode number 9 of Red Dead Redemption 2. My playthrough, my second playthrough of that game, but the first time I've done it on stream, and it's been a joy to stream. We're getting to the point at which we are about to wrap up the story of the Vanderlyn gang as it gets ready to dismantle and then head into the epilogue. But what craziness is there in between now and then? Yes, there will be more stuff, and we're getting into the thick of it here. L.A. Noire, by the way, will be the next title that rolls in after Red Dead Redemption 2 there for Sundays. Sundays are going to kind of be like storyline type Sundays. And then back next week, 8 p.m. Eastern time, right here, same time, same channel, X-Venture for week number 2 of the Forza Spec Racing Series. We're heading out to Indianapolis exclusively, the Grand Prix Classic Circuit, followed by the Daytona was tonight, the Indy Brickyard Speedway. It should be a fun one, if not at least very, very interesting. Don't miss the action. You will regret it if you do, I promise you. And for those of you who inevitably won't be able to make it, know that I've got everything loaded up onto my YouTube as the broadcasts close out. So head on over to Xventure, EXEVENTURE, same tag as it is here on Twitch. Same tag as it is here on Twitch over there on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I think I've got the old command for it there. There it is. There's the channel. Head on over there to YouTube. Subscribe to that, which subscribing on YouTube is not the same as subscribing here on Twitch. So basically what I'm asking you to do on YouTube is just click the follow button or the subscribe button and you're following. And that way, whenever broadcasts do get posted up on YouTube, you'll get the notification, or at least you'll see it as a new video there in your YouTube feed. That way, if you miss a broadcast, you can catch up and see it in its entirety. And even if you don't miss it and you want to go watch back again, you can do that. And because it's on demand, you can rewind and fast forward and all that fun stuff. Very, very fun and simple to do. And all the support on both platforms, greatly appreciated. All right, y'all, that's it for me. Take care. Have a great rest of the week. Hopefully we got you to your Wednesday pretty nicely here as we wrap up a Tuesday evening. Stay happy. Stay healthy. Hope to see you on Friday, if not Sunday, and at the very most, or at the very least, next Tuesday, right here on X-Venture. Wrong song. We'll try it again. There you go. Have a good one all.